Welcome back to Travoltine Presents Easy Riders. Hosted by Jeff Sweeney and Stuart Elmore. Covering Destination Wedding with special guest Cole Bradley.
All right, can I just start right off the bat by reading some heater IMDb trivia facts about this movie?
Let's go.
Number one trivia fact, 259 out of 263 people found this interesting. In real life, Winona Ryder and Keanu Reeves have been friends since the 80s. That's fact number one. Fact number two, Lindsay's address is 14 Catalina Drive, Newport Beach. Fact number three, in one scene, Winona Ryder's character mentions to Keanu Reeves' character, Frank, let's play devil's advocate. This is a small allusion to The Devil's Advocate, a 1997 film that also starred Keanu Reeves. Fact number four, this film was shot in 10 days.
No shit.
Fact number five, this film wasn't announced until it had already finished filming and entered post-production. Those are the 5 facts I wanted to share with you today.
That's great.
The main one being, if you didn't know, that they've been friends since the 80s.
And they technically have been married under the Greek Orthodox Church
Since 1992.
Since 1992.
Do you ever think whoever actually lives at that address is constantly getting swarmed by
fans.
Destination Wedding fans?
Destination Wedding heads, like the people who live in Walter White's house are? It's Walter White. It's Breaking Bad, right? Where the people who live in that house like keep threatening to shoot fans who come by to take pictures.
No, it's because people keep coming and throwing pizzas on their roof. It's like, it keeps happening. It was like, I remember seeing it like a headline once where it's like someone threw a pizza on these people's roofs, and then like I was like, funny. A few years later, we will shoot people who come to our house because we've had so many fucking pizzas thrown on our roof.
I just put the headline, no more pizzas, please.
I'm looking at 14 Catalina Drive, Newport Beach, California.
I know Newport Beach fairly well, actually.
Okay, there is no 14. It's a 400.
Oh, so they were smart.
Yeah. They made it up.
How far is Newport Beach? California is, of course, a fake state.
That doesn't exist.
And is too big. So I always have a really bad sense of like what the directions are between Newport Beach and anywhere in California.
Newport Beach is
what's the distance between Newport Beach?
It's directly south of Anaheim.
And San Luis Obispo. I know the distance between Newport Beach and Anaheim specifically.
It would be
that I know very well. It's everything else.
If you were to follow road laws, you could reach San Luis Obispo from Catalina Drive 4 hours and 17 minutes.
Okay, so this is my first point. Is I have just pulled up that exact piece of information. Just drive. Don't get in the world's worst plane. It's a nice drive. Like one of the nicer drives in the country is along
the Pacific Coast
coast
Highway.
there, right?
Yeah,
I've done it. It's
just
a lovely
drive.
trip.
Here we go.
Truth.
Oh, it's a nice drive. Like that plane they're in seems miserable. I don't want to be in that plane. Do you want to be in that plane? I have immense logic about the plane. I have questions about the plane, but my first point is just drive.
I like that the plane, they say it seats 8 people. There are seemingly 6 seats, and then there's a love seat in the back.
I was just about to say that. It's like, of course.
Okay, here's the real question. We need to get into the meat of this. And this is not even my greatest logical issue with this movie, but we need to hack this out. The entire first scene of the movie is predicated on Keanu being the first person to board the plane. And then he's the last person to board the plane.
Yes.
What happened in the middle of there?
He clearly,
there's a deleted scene.
He felt the call of nature. He ran to the restroom. And then while he's, unzipping, he's hearing flight 745 to San Luis Obispo boarding. Now he's like,
oh, God, no, Jesus Christ.
Victor Levin, I have questions.
We should reach out to Victor Levin, get some clarity on this.
Yeah. This is number what collaboration between Winona and Keanu?
Fourth.
Four. That's a lot.
It's Dracula, It's
Scanner Darkly.
Scanner Darkly. It's Secret Lives of Pippa Lee.
Secret Lives of Pippa Lee.
And then
Private.
it's Private Lives of Pippa
Private
Lee.
Lives.
And then it's Destination Wedding.
Slash the Private Lives of
I
Joe
have to
Biden.
correct you guys.
Yeah.
I have to correct you on something, Jeff.
Yes.
This movie is not called Destination Wedding.
Oh, it's Destination Wedding or a narcissist can't die because the entire world would end.
I see that. Like, if they had gone with that title, I might have even like been a slightly bit more okay with this movie. But like, it is the most like. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. I did not like this.
I'm gonna say right
on
off-
multiple fronts.
Here's what this movie is. This movie is the cinematic equivalent to getting in your bath. The bubbles are just popping up. You have a nice glass of Cabernet seated on the side that you can grab. The tea candles are all burning around, and your speaker is playing a nice little, guitar tune, and you're feeling at bliss. You're feeling happy. You feel good. That's what this movie's like. Watch this movie's like that.
It is so funny.
Wait. I have one thing to add to that. Everything you just said to that is correct, Jeff, except
Yes.
the vibe of this movie is everything Jeff just said. But then right as you set foot in the bathtub, your wife comes in and is arguing with you for an hour and a half of why you didn't do the fucking dishes. That is the vibe of this movie.
Jeff, I'm going to tell you something.
Yes.
You are describing a movie specifically, and it is not this movie.
What movie
not
am I
this movie.
describing?
I know what movie you're describing, and it's not this movie. The movie you're describing is Hallie Myers Shire's Home Again.
What a good movie.
Why are we watching Home
We should
Again?
be watching
right now?
Home Again, right? Stuart,
Stuart, have you
Again?
seen Home Again?
I don't think so. No.
Stuart,
Oh, it's so good.
Home Again is about a nice girl,
Yeah.
and her
Who
three
is-
her three nice boys.
With three nice boys.
Yes.
I'm looking this up.
It's like the
It's
like
also about Zan Cassavetes.
it's like
It's the other thing.
it's about like it's like a Christmas Carol, except instead of being visited by three ghosts, he was visited by three nice boys who help him figure out his love life.
They're really nice.
They are extremely
They're very
nice boys.
nice boys.
So you should watch Hallie Myers Shire's Home Again.
Jeff, have you seen Goodrich yet?
I've not seen Goodrich yet.
You're gonna fucking love Goodrich.
Sir, do you know what Goodrich is?
You're gonna have such a good
It's the
time.
next
with
movie by the same
Goodrich.
director, except it's what if Michael Keaton was old and has a girlfriend who's the same age as his daughter? That's the pitch, right?
Weirdly, not as relevant as you'd think.
Okay.
Yeah, it's both more and less complicated than that.
Sounds good. I'm in.
Yeah, you're gonna love Goodrich.
It's
Jeff.
already left theaters, so I can't go see it.
I know they fucking did Michael Keaton dirty.
They put the hit out in the same way that they're putting the hit out on Clint.
Here's the thing about Goodrich. I'm not gonna say it's Michael Keaton's best performance of his career, but it is probably a solid silver.
You think it's in there?
Yeah, I think it's on the Rushmore.
I need to see it.
God damn. $600,000 on its opening weekend. Fuck.
It played like 3 theaters.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I'm gonna open up. Okay, let's see what the theater counts were for Goodrich.
If it's more than juror number 2,
They're gonna open juror number 2 wide.
you think it'll happen? I hope it happens.
They. It's too embarrassing for them not to.
Sir, did you hear that they're railroading Clint Eastwood?
Why are they railroad?
So you know how Clint Eastwood makes a lot of movies about guys being railroaded?
Okay.
About like Sully, and it's like, he's a good man, but you know what? The FEC or the F.
Okay.
Oh
The
shit! They
FAA
opened it at
railroaded
1,000
him.
theaters.
Sure,
Never
sure,
mind, Stuart. Never mind.
What?
They opened Goodrich at 1,000 theaters.
Oh
Never
yeah, they
mind.
made $600,000.
That's really bad.
But juror number 2, Clint Eastwood's made a lot of movies about he's a good man, but they were Richard Jewell. He was innocent.
Yeah,
he saved
yeah.
it, but they railroaded him.
They railroaded him. Yeah.
And
Okay.
Warner Brothers is now railroading Clint Eastwood. He's 94 years old, and he made Juror Number 2,
Okay.
his new movie.
Okay.
Warner Brothers financed it.
Okay.
No, they didn't.
They purchased it. That's right.
This is the weirdest part of the juror number 2 drama.
They purchased
Is
it.
that Warner Brothers said they weren't going to make the movie, so he made it independently, and then they bought it.
So they bought it because Clint Eastwood's been a Warner Brothers guy his whole career.
Yeah.
Or for a long time.
Yeah.
And they bought the movie, and everyone's like, "Oh, well, it's nice. They're going to release Clint's probably final movie." And then Warner Bros. Puts it out in 50 theaters with minimal to no advertising, and is not reporting box office data. They're railroading him. They're railroading him, Stuart. They're railroading Clint.
Damn. You know what they say? Justice is blind.
Yeah,
Guilt sees everything.
I went to go see Juror Number 2 yesterday, which is a great movie. And it was a sold-out screening, and it was me, Mark Tilley, and a variety of older men. It was great. It's exactly the energy you want.
This is good. This is really good.
But this is not a Juror Number 2 podcast. This is a Destination Wedding podcast.
Can it be a Juror Number 2 podcast?
Talk about Juror Number 2. So, Cole, besides the Keanu of it all, which has obviously been like your through line on our Easy Rider show, you specifically wanted to cover Destination Wedding. I remember.
Yeah.
What's your story with this?
I had seen it. And therefore I felt it was uniquely qualified amongst citizens of the United States that I had the right to talk about it, I guess. I don't know. It was just that I wanted to complete the run.
Complete the Keanu's.
Yeah.
And I was like, I actually looked it up. It's almost been 6 years to the day.
Since you saw this?
Yeah.
This movie,
we should be recording this on Tuesday night.
Yeah, this movie does give big like Tuesday night bubble bath energy. That's my thing.
But specifically this upcoming Tuesday night, we should be recording this.
So that we can call the presidential election. Heat check, because last time you were on the show, Joe
Was
Biden
this
dropped
a
out.
morning movie?
This is a morning movie.
Well, no, I'm literally like, one of the nice things about Letterboxd is I can look at my diary and I can be like, kind of cross-reference what time of day I probably watched a movie. So now I'm going to actually see if I can figure out if I watch this in the morning or at night on November 5th, 2018.
We're so close.
See. That's what I'm saying.
We could have watched it we could have called the election and watched it Tuesday night to match. Yeah, imagine watching something like,
movie.
"Oh shit, Kamala just got Pennsylvania."
I watched this movie at night, and I probably watched this movie very late at night.
The thing is,
because it was my third movie of the day.
The thing is, I watched this movie this morning, and I was like, "Oh, what a great morning movie!" And then we're talking.
It's a good morning movie,
and I'm like, oh, "What a great evening movie!" And then Cole, you're like,
"It's a bad evening movie."
And then Cole, you're like, "I watched
attention.
this movie in the middle of the night," and I'm like, "What a good middle of the night movie!" I'm like, "This movie it's just." I found this so satisfying, and I'm sorry, but I did. My wife came in and watched a little bit of those, and she's like, "These people are insufferable." And
yes,
I said,
"They are."
And I said, "Yeah, but isn't it nice?"
No.
Isn't it kind of charming?
These are the most insufferable
So Jeff,
people.
you liked this movie.
I did like this movie.
Stuart, I'm getting the sense you didn't like this movie.
I did not like this movie.
Interesting.
Cole, where are you at?
I mean, this is the best of the collabs, right? Like fairly undeniably.
Oh
No, Dracula's
Dracula.
Are
Secret
you
Lives of
sure?
Pippa Lee and Scanner Darkly. This is the bottom of the barrel.
I don't know about that.
Cole, Cole, the Private Lives of Pippa Lee is better than this movie.
I know that Cole actually definitely likes Scanner Darkly and Dracula more than this, but this is very good.
No, this movie is worse than Private Lives.
I know. Earnestly, my question is like, this movie is more successful at doing what it wants to do than Pippa Lee is.
Which is annoy me.
But Pippa Lee has like more ambitions. So I'm kind of like uncertain where I fall between the two of those.
I think it's better than Pippa Lee.
No.
Pippa Lee is just kind of like, eh. And this movie is kind of like, oh.
No.
Have you guys recorded The Cow yet?
The cow?
I wish I was on The Cow.
What's the cow?
Where is it? I refuse to call it by its release title. Easy Riders. No, you're recording that one next week. I wish I was on The Cow. Can I come back for The Cow?
What is the cow?
What's the cow?
Oh, is it Gone in the Night? What's
Gone
it
in the
called?
Why was they called like? Oh, wait. I think I know why they call it the cow.
No, you don't know why they call it. Have you seen it yet?
No.
No.
Then I assure you have no idea why it was shot under the title "The Cow."
I'm very excited to learn why it was shot
One
under
of
the
the
title of the cow.
greatest reveals of the past 10 years. I spent that whole movie being like, why was this movie called The Cow?
And then you found out?
Because to be clear, Gone in the Night, guys, is basically the same starting point as Barbarian.
Mm. Okay.
It's like double booked Airbnb spooky movie. So have a fun time trying to parse why that movie is called
The Cow.
The Cow.
It's from a cow waiting and living in the basement. If it's like Barbarian.
It's so much weirder, and that movie's not very good. Is this movie good? That is my big question.
Yes, it's good.
You're
I'm straight up going to say
Wedding?
Destination Wedding is good.
No, it's not.
I will straight up say it.
No, it's an insufferable movie. It's very annoying.
I need one of you to successfully change my mind over the course of this movie.
We're fighting now.
Well, okay,
over-
let's discuss the characters of this movie, played by Keanu and Winona Ryder.
Yes.
First off,
the only two actors in this movie.
the only two actors in the movie,
No,
except
there
for
are
a
other
maid,
actors. The only two speaking roles in this
maid
movie.
who
The
does
on-
say something.
The only two people who have SAG cards.
No, I don't think the maid does say something.
The
I
maid-
think Winona
Maid says
yells at the
something
maid.
off camera.
Remember, Winona yells
No,
something
I-
in Spanish at her.
I
And
think
thought
it's
it was the maid,
Winona
too.
in Spanish yelling at the maid, and they're both off camera.
Are Winona and Keanu good in this movie?
Yes,
No,
both are.
no, no,
Yes,
no,
they're both charming.
no.
I think one of them is good and one of them is not good, but I'm not sure I know which is which.
I love this. I love this trichotomy.
Yes, this is what we have right now.
Yeah. Well, let me say this.
Stuart, I'm Kamala, you're Trump, and Colt is Pennsylvania. We're fighting over.
Why did you
He's
self-assign
he's
the
Pennsylvania.
roles there?
Because you hate Destination
Don't-
Wedding, which means
Jeff,
Yes.
don't compare Stewart. Let's be serious. Don't compare Stewart to Trump. He has so much more in common with JD Vance. Like,
I knew that was coming. I knew that was fucking coming.
Stuart, you want to go on the couch for a second?
Hey, Joe.
Yeah. Hey, hey,
Mr. Pennsylvania himself.
folks, it's okay.
it's so funny, Stewart, that basically our entire political system is set up to directly appeal to the only people in the country too stupid to live in New Jersey.
Folks, Jersey. You know,
It's popcorn.
Jeff, did you see the video of the BBC reporter explaining a cheesesteak?
no, I really don't want to. Don't,
It's
Cole.
I don't think Winona and Keanu.
I was at
are
my
good in this
job a
movie.
few days ago. The catering company had truly one of the great abominations of our age available.
yeah.
Philly cheese.
No, it was a.
Oh, I had a cheesesteak this morning. It
It
was
was
pretty
a
good.
vegan chicken cheesesteak.
Oh, that sounds good.
No, like in concept, sounds
like-
fine.
sounds
It sounds like
this movie.
not a cheesesteak. It's a vegan Philly chicken cheesesteak.
No, I get it. Vegan chicken chili cheesesteak, right?
Philly cheesesteak.
Philly cheesesteak. And you're thinking concept.
A cheesesteak is steak and cheese.
Yeah, it sounds great. And you almost say like a movie. We bring Winona and Keanu back together.
Yes.
And it's just them talking
Yes.
about their...
Sounds good.
Sounds good, right?
Yeah. And because it
And
is.
then you watch the movie and it fucking sucks.
No, that's good.
It's
the thing
bad.
about this movie is it's good.
really bad. This is a bad movie.
The thing about this movie is it is like shockingly audacious.
You know what? And the thing that I think
Yes.
could have made this movie really good, and it's just I'm going to say this because like I really believe this, that I've been a little bit hard on Keanu, and I admit to that. I've been not a big Keanu fan this podcast, but then I have to harp on it even more though, that Keanu and Winona, and I'm not like kind of, you said something similar, Cole, like I'm not sure whose fault it is, but they're not on the same energy wavelength.
They're
in
not
this movie.
on the same and okay.
And I
I
don't
was
know whose
thinking-
fault it is. I don't know if it's Keanu can't get on Winona's wavelength or if it's Winona can't get on Keanu's wavelength. But something isn't. There's their performances, which is the entire fucking movie, is like two dissonant piano keys playing at the same time.
Isn't that the idea, though?
no,
Okay, I
That's
wasn't
the idea
sure.
of the movie.
no.
I wasn't sure when to bring this up, but you're right, Stuart. Like it doesn't click exactly the way you want it to click, and this is a movie that is entirely conceived of vis-a-vis the idea that it is finally capital T the Keanu Winona movie, or I think appropriately the Winona Keanu movie, because she is top billed, which is a little crazy to me. But
Because this is coming right in the height of the John Wick.
yeah, this movie shoots in the immediate aftermath of Wick 2 coming out. So it's like, yes, she has had the comeback, but he has had the more recent higher profile comeback. Because if you think about it, this whole movie is contingent on the sense of like Keanu, Winona. We know they're a great screen pair. It's a slam dunk. But truly, it's like, are they a great screen pair or are they a great off-screen pair? Because they don't really gel very well in Dracula, and no one likes them together in Dracula.
Yeah.
Scanner Darkly,
They're not
not a movie people think of her as being in. Pippa Lee, not a movie anyone thinks of, and they don't share a scene together, right? So this is really the only movie they've ever made together that is like their La La Land, right? To analogize to like Gosling and Stone. Here's the question I had while watching this movie.
Yes.
And it's a controversial one given the crowd I'm about to pitch this to.
Yes.
And know that I'm not being trolly when I say this. This is just an earnest thought.
So
I have.
fucking ready.
Immaterial of who is individually good and individually bad in this movie. Is the problem with this movie, well, not the problem, but is one of the issues with this movie that Winona Ryder is in it, period. And should this movie, Jeff, I think do you know where I'm going with this?
I have my curiosities.
Should this be the Keanu Carrie Ann reunion? Because
Look.
Matrix 4 has not been
Look.
announced when this comes out, let alone when it shoots.
Look. No, this should be the Keanu Winona movie. This because it works. I think it
No,
works.
it doesn't work.
I think
It doesn't
work.
work. It doesn't.
I think it works.
So doesn't. So Jeff, I want to establish something. You said earlier, it's like, isn't that the point? That's supposed to be too distant. No.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. Like, there's a difference between.
They're two dissonant keys that eventually harmonize.
Listen. No, they never harmonize in this.
They
movie.
harmonize
They
at the end.
never once harmonize.
They briefly harmonize in this movie.
When do they harmonize, Cole?
When they're in bed together.
That's
Yeah.
no.
Yes.
The
Oh,
bed stuff,
God,
the
no.
bed stuff
God,
is
the best
where
part
this
of the
movie is
no,
like.
no,
When
no,
she's
no.
explaining what she
That-
likes about him and what he's explaining what he likes about her, and
No,
she's in the
because
pajamas.
she is in this whole like she just
So
she
your shirt
gives-
kind of looks similar to the pajamas she's wearing. in the
she
movie.
gives up the act of like, oh, you and I are the same, where love isn't for us. Because then she switches her whole tone to be like, maybe we should start a little relationship. And Keanu's like, no, I'm bad dude. I am bad man. We are only fucking tonight, and that's it. And it's like, but you don't want to consider? And it almost makes it more dissonant and worse, because it's like, at least in the beginning, they're both like, oh, we're both reluctantly going to this wedding. We're both really people who hate our own lives and blah, blah, or miserable. Like, again, insufferable. And I can even get behind a movie about two insufferable people
Yeah.
liking each other. I can even
Which
get
is what it
behind
is.
that. It's not.
That's what it is.
It's
Of course
not.
you can, Stuart. You like the whale.
Okay, that's great. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one, Cole. But like, who's the other person? Oh, it's Sadie Sink. Yeah, Sadie
Yeah.
Sink. Okay.
More like sink this movie out of my brain or whatever. I don't know. Say D's sink. Say
but
D's nuts.
it's
I don't know.
not-
I think Sadie Sink should be put in a box, and that box should be pushed out into the ocean.
for the whale.
All right. So,
These are my thoughts on Sadie Sink.
but like this, it's not
Not
even
the worst performance in The Whale,
It-
to be clear.
Oh, right. It's the priest kid. I don't even remember his fucking name.
And also maybe Samantha Morton.
Samantha Morton also bad in The Whale.
Really bad. Everyone except for Hong Chow is terrible in The Whale. Hong Chow is like mediocre in The Whale.
I will not be.
You will not be drawn into a whale.
Be drawn into another whale debate with you.
A whale
But
debate.
it's the fact that not only are these two insufferable, but
Whale
like,
debate, more like masturbate, because that's what he's doing at the beginning of that movie.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
all right, so enough. So it's bad enough that these two are insufferable people, that they're the worst of the kind, right?
Yes.
But then it's the fact that like Keanu seems to be in this like monotone, I'm at the end of my wits with life in general sort of behavior. And when Nona's playing this off like, oh, well, I got my heart broken and I'm coming here for closure and maybe this will help me move on with my life. And at no point do I ever feel like that these two could ever be in a trajectory where they end up actually being together, except in the movie it makes Keanu do one of the worst like performance bits in his career, where he has to like somehow non-verbally like convince the audience that he's changed his mind about Winona. But it's in a way that's not believable whatsoever. And it makes the ending of the movie fucking laughable. That I'm like,
The ending of the movie is horseshit.
it's so
To be
horseshit.
clear.
It's
Jeff,
horseshit.
you have to also agree that the ending of the movie is ridiculous.
What, him showing up at her house?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Jeff.
You got the address off the taxi guy.
Oh,
Jeff.
gee, no shit.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, of course he did. But he's gonna like,
What do you want him to do? Just go home?
that's what
Yes!
he would do. That's the kind of piece of shit he is.
They're changed.
No,
No, they're not.
They're not.
They're perfect for
No,
each other.
you're not.
Realize
No,
that
they're
perfect
not.
for each
They're
other.
the worst people for anybody. They should be put in a fucking box and send off in the ocean. By the way, and I love Winona Ryder as an actress. It's just she's doing a great job at playing the most annoying fucking person you could ever cross paths with at your cousin's
I
wedding.
mean, that's the thing in this movie's
the movie's
favor
about.
is like the sheer audacity of just like locking you in a room with like two incredibly abrasive people
The
for
worst
90
types of
minutes
people
and not
to see at a wedding.
not ever giving you an out.
There's always the annoying, like, distant related, like, brother who hasn't talked to the family in 5
Yeah.
years that you don't even want. If you're matched to his table, you did something wrong. You fucked up on the invite list. But if you're put next to the ex, then you're like, you also really fucked up. And so I get the concept that this movie is putting these two together, but then they don't, like, milk that process at all. And it is hindered by the fact that there are no other speaking roles. So there's no comparison to the fact. There should have been like one little bit where it's like, let's see one of them talk to a normal person and see how that normal person reacts to
I
them.
know that this is
to
like-
give us like a gauge.
I know that this is like a thing that people throw out a lot as like a dumb fan theory about movies. I'm not gonna say this is like literally what this movie's about, but in a way, you're kind of just trapped in purgatory with these two people. Like, that's
Which is
kinda-
why the ending is bad.
That's why the ending is really bad.
I think they get to
The movie
you know,
is also when I saw this the first time, I was like so kind of bowled over by just its commitment to the bit that I was like, nothing else matters.
So Cole,
but I do have to wonder if like this movie is at like a honestly, Stuart, you're not gonna like this, but it's true. This movie is in fact about like 40% as annoying as it should be.
40% as annoying as it should be.
I think it's the right amount of annoying.
It's a little too
it's-
sweet.
because then when they have sex and they talk about the fucking cougar and they have their different conversations for like literally 10 minutes of the movie, I am like squirming in my couch, like, make it stop, make it stop. And it's not even like, he should have been, no, this is how you make that scene better. You split the two off and they hook up with the random person at a wedding.
no.
Yes.
I
That's
love-
how that scene is.
Yes.
Yes, right? That's how you make that scene better, is that it's a 10-minute montage cutting back and forth to their each having sex. He's bitching and complaining about his low life to a regular girl. She's bitching and complaining about going to her ex's wedding to a regular fucking bachelor, whoever it is.
Okay.
And it's like, and you as the audience sees them cutting back. She's like, Keanu and Winona should be fucking each other. That's the juice of the movie.
That's a good idea for a different movie.
No,
at that point, you've made this a different movie.
No, because then the alternative is you put these two people and you're fucking like, how do you not squirm at this? Like, this is horrible. Like, who are these people and how did this mystical magical cloud strike them with lightning and thought it was a good idea to fuck in the bushes?
I like that this is a movie
he
about...
says crabs.
He does say crabs. He does yell crabs.
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 I'm
laughing at how stupid it is. It's so stupid. It's so like, but then to have it think that like this is a smart thing to include after like a quote unquote near death experience with a mountain lion, which whether it was a mountain lion or a puma, could not give a fuck. Okay.
Look, here's the thing.
You shouldn't run away from a mountain lion, by the way.
You shouldn't. You're supposed to stand your ground and look big.
Yeah.
What I like
Thank you, Stuart.
about this movie is that you're trapped with the two most insufferable people in the world, and you grow to kind of love them. That's what I like.
Did you,
it.
Cole?
Cole.
I looked at the camera
I became to enjoy these people's company.
I looked to the camera as if Cole could see me, but we turned our video off.
And I looked at you too.
Did you ever grow to fucking
Cole was
love
staring
these
at a
people?
black screen. And was like,
Cole,
I'm reaching my pointer finger out. Like
I literally did the same thing, Cole. Jeff could attest. I literally pointed to the camera to the laptop where you are.
I'm trying to do the ET touch through my laptop.
Cole Bradley. Did you ever like these people?
No.
No!
But
I kind of like them.
But I don't think I dislike them as much as I want to either. That's my problem.
I don't know. I think Pennsylvania looked a little red.
What?
I think Pennsylvania looked a little red. I think Cole's starting to side with
I don't know.
me.
We still have 200,000 mail-in ballots from Philadelphia to come through. It's time yet. Still time.
But what's the joke with them having the really long sex scene? Explain it to me, please.
Well, that's how long
funny.
sex happens, Stuart. I don't know if you know this, but
So, what I like about that scene, I like that it's the two of them that they're having like bad sex essentially. And I like that it keeps up the movie's bit of just like them. They have very verbose styles of speaking. It's very
irritatingly verbose styles of speaking.
They have
one might
extremely written styles of speaking.
Yeah.
And throughout the first half of the movie, I'm thinking like, is this overwritten? And then we get to the sex scene, and they're fucking and having bad sex, and they're still having a full blown discussion in this overwritten. So I'm like, oh no, this is part of the sauce. This is the joke.
Yeah, of course it is. I just don't think it's a good sauce.
And I don't think it's sauce at all. I think like they're fucking spilled ketchup on the table and you're frantically trying to wipe it down, but with the wrong Clorox wipe, so it stains even more. Like it's the worst kind of collaboration of resources possible.
Like,
where they're
like
thinking,
when they're just having sex and they're still like, oh yes,
imagine the
back
writer who's pitching this to the guys, and they're like, and then they meet a mountain lion, but then they don't know what to do, and they keep talking back and forth like, oh, this will be really bad if we died together. At least your brother will be
is funny.
No, it's not. It's not funny at all. It's not funny at all. That bit's a little funny. But everything around
the
before
it's kind
that
of funny.
bit, everything around that bit is not funny. The bit that they keep talking about whether would it be sad or funny for them to be dead together is not funny.
It's
but then
funny.
for them
that's the funniest bit.
No, it's not.
In the movie.
It's not the funniest bit.
Yes.
When they keep having this conversation around the
mail-in
mountain
ballots
lion.
are coming through.
They keep having this fucking conversation about what you're supposed to do with the mountain lion. Oh my God, no one can hear us within a few miles. Oh, they'll find their bones. Oh no, actually they won't. They like to drag corpses around away. Like, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. This doesn't tell me anything about your characters to each other. What would tell me about your characters is like what I physically see you do, which then turns into Keanu like, which is a little funny, but
it's very funny.
That could have been like any
really
other funny bit.
Sir, you might say a little funny. You know what? I'm holding my hand out as if Cole can see it. A little funny. I might say a lot funny.
And then they
This
escape.
movie kind of rules.
This movie's great.
No, it doesn't rule. It doesn't
I
rule.
want to go
I'm
home.
gonna convince.
I want to
I'm
go
gonna
home,
convince you otherwise.
Put
Cole.
my feet in a foot bath.
Because then what happens
Pour a glass
next?
of Chardonnay and
they
watch this
run
movie.
down a fucking hill. Where are they going, by the way? Where are they going?
They're in purgatory. They're just wandering.
they're
I don't
just
know.
wandering.
They're going back to the wedding.
No, they're not, though. They're wandered
They're
away.
clearly going back to
They're
the
wandered
wedding.
away from the wedding. That was the whole
Do you
bit.
know the geography of
Do
the San
you?
Luis? The
Do
map?
you know the geography?
Do you know the
all it-
geography of
after they
Paso
have
Robles,
sex,
California?
After they have sex, which is after they've wandered away from the wedding, they meet the mountain lion, then they go down the hill, they have sex down the hill, and then they wander away again and they get back to the van shuttle that takes them to their hotel. What kind of a fucking geographical, like, where did they go? Winona said, I just want to go on a walk. And so they go on
They
a
just went on a walk.
They went on a walk
You've
to the
never
fucking...
gone on a walk before, Stuart?
I've never gone on a walk
You're
with
a hiker.
I've never gone on a walk with an insufferable stranger I've never wanted to spend more than 5 seconds in a room with. And so if
I
that's
think you actually have. You've gone on hiking trips with people.
not with insufferable people who I couldn't be caught dead with.
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
I could save you the trouble. I
Well, I don't know.
know.
Do you bring a mirror with you or not?
Stuart, you and I are going to go on a hike one of these days.
We
I was just-
have!
And
We have!
Yeah, I know. And I just kept talking to you about bullshit, right?
No, you just kept saying, "Hey, Stuart, fuck you,"
Yeah,
because you
that's true.
hated hiking.
Yeah, I
Because you
did.
wore fucking slacks.
I didn't wear slacks.
Jeff, do you hate hiking?
I'm not a hiker.
He wore
Why would
slacks.
anyone go on a hike? It doesn't make any sense.
It's fun. You see nature.
You know,
Nature sucks.
Nature's pretty great.
you know what I like.
Nature's lame.
You know
You're
what
the
I like
reason why
about
the earth
nature.
is dying, Cole.
You know why I like nature. What I like to do with nature. I like to be in a vehicle, a train, a plane, an automobile.
Aw.
And you drive from one location to the other, and you get out and you kind of walk around, you see it, and then you get back in the vehicle and go to the next.
That's called hiking, Jeff. You,
No.
you drive around, you park your car, you get around, you hike around. That's
no,
called hiking.
like you pull right up to the thing, and then you walk up to it, and you kind of you like the little
Yeah.
10-minute trail.
What if you pull right
It's a
up to the
hike.
thing and then you don't get out of the car?
See, that's also nice too.
That's pretty nice.
That's just driving. You're just
Yeah.
driving.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's nice driving.
Just fine. I like to drive too.
But sometimes
Nothing
someone else
wrong with
drives
driving.
you because you're on a train.
Yes,
But wait, are you being driven when you're on a train?
Yes.
yes. There's
You're
a
being
there's a
driven?
driver.
But the
Trains have drivers.
trains have conductors.
No, and they also have drivers. Those are
There's
two
a guy who
different
d- who-
positions.
Stuart,
I'm gonna look it up.
you've seen
No, I'm 100% right. Conductors and conductors do not drive the train.
Stuart, you've seen Spider-Man 2. There's the guy, and he pulls the little lever and speeds the train up.
Have you never seen the great American film Unstoppable?
Unstoppable.
Stuart,
Starring Denzel Washington and Chris Pine.
Cole,
Stuart, have you seen that movie?
I have seen that
it's a
movie.
great
Cole.
movie.
Okay, if you remember that
And Kevin
movie,
Dunn, lest we forget.
Chris Pine is the conductor. Denzel Washington is the driver.
Yeah.
Chris Pine is coordinating with base and making all the calls. Denzel Washington is the person physically inputting
But there's
Chris
only
Pine's
one
orders
dimension
into the machine.
in
What?
driving a train, and that is faster or slower. Or
No,
stop.
there's you're doing all the technical operation. The
other
driver
buttons
actually
and-
handles
To
all
do
the
what?
controls.
What do they do? What do the buttons do? Besides make the train go
I don't know.
faster.
I've never
slower,
driven a
stuff.
train.
Yeah,
Sometimes they turn.
we could be.
Sometimes you turn.
You can't turn on a track, Cole.
Yes, you can.
you can't. You can't turn on a track.
No, but
Track is one way.
conductors do not handle the actual machinery of the driving console.
Okay, fine. Trains have
So
drivers.
trains have
For
drivers.
one
It's
thing,
a
I'll
different
trains
job.
do
concede in
have
this
drivers.
fucking show.
Sir, I might remind you, I was a yard master for 10 years, Miss Hooper. Luck has no business in a rail yard.
Okay, thank you, Kevin Dunn.
That's all I had to say.
Why are we watching? Are you guys going to do Chris Pine on this
We're
podcast?
just doing pine nuts.
Well, there's an alternate dimension called Pine Nuts.
Yeah. Oh, wait, we did do Chris Pine on this show. Yeah, Cole, on our Star
For
Trek
April
episode.
Fool's Day 1 year, can we just do an Unstoppable episode?
Stuart, on our Star Trek episode, we traveled to an alternate dimension where Mark Tilley
Of course.
hosted a show called Pine Nuts,
Yeah.
as is well known.
You know it's an alternate dimension because Mark has the work ethic to host anything.
So, anyway, so I think we're all in agreement that these are two good people.
No, I don't think we've gotten an agreement on a single thing on this movie. These are two insufferable people who
I
never
do have
make
to
it
say that we
convincing.
do need to wrap this up within the next 20 minutes.
That's
So
okay.
you
20
better
minutes?
Make your closing.
That's
argument.
okay. Listen, this movie stars two insufferable people
Cole, are you just actively trying to beat the time?
who
Shortest guest episode.
who seem to like the movie makes it sound like that they're going to convince you for the next hour that we're going to somehow see the good in these people. But not only that, we're going to see the good in each.
No,
in
we're not going to
themselves.
see the good in them.
Oh bullshit!
It's not
Jet.
about.
You can't.
It's
say,
not about the good.
No, that this movie wants you to see the good in the people.
No, it's not about the good. It's about just kind of like liking them.
That's the same thing.
No, it's not the same.
I'm with Stuart. I'm with Stuart on
That's
this one.
the
We're
same
going
thing.
red. We're going red.
We're going right. Then it's even worse than that because the
Pennsyltucky's
movie
coming. Day of
tries
voting,
not only
mass
tries to convince you
quantities.
to, in just words, like them a little bit, but they also try to convince you to like them together.
Yeah,
a
because they're
little
good
bit.
together.
I never
They're
once
great together.
ever fucking think that they're good for each other. Like, and that makes the ending of the movie extremely stupid.
I think
but
they're
it
good.
also makes the whole movie like insufferable to endure.
Yeah.
Like
they're
the 10 minute.
they're two insufferable people, and you're happy that they found each other.
No. I think
But I'm not.
The
I
world
want
is a
to be,
millisecond
but
from
I'm not.
imploding. The world is a millisecond away from imploding should they spend another ounce of time together.
Because that's the thing is like when you meet insufferable people in the world, you want them to be with other insufferable people. You don't want them bothering you good people.
Jeff, now you're switching your tune here.
No, I'm saying that's what this.
No,
at the
because-
end of this, you like them and you're happy
No,
they're together.
you know what's worse? Like worse than like an insufferable person with a non-insufferable person?
What?
Two insufferable people together. Because guess what? Those people have to have lunch with other folks on occasion, and there's nothing worse than being at a dinner
Not if
table.
they're these two people.
Oh,
yeah, they
hold
don't
on.
talk to other people.
Hold on.
Hold
on, Stuart.
I like these two people just don't talk to other people. They're never going to talk to anyone else.
I'm looking at the camera.
They're
like
just
as
going to
if
be
Cole-
together.
Cole's gonna.
They're
no,
just
no.
going to be together.
It wasn't fucking Wednesday, Jeff. That's like how that's the dynamic of the relationship. It wasn't fucking Wednesday. Like, no. This I think this entire movie was just a goddamn waste of time and space and energy. It would have been a better movie if it leaned more into the purgatory fact to prove that these two need to suffer in hell. But it's like
It's not like. Have you guys seen like the John Cassavetes film Husbands,
No.
which is like 2.5 hours of like three awful dudes just hanging out and just like being awful. And it's just like you're locked in there with them and they're so repellent and the movie like doesn't give you the out.
isn't this Entourage?
I've never seen Entourage. I'm an adult. I'm in my 30s. Okay. I'm not fucking watching Entourage.
Hey, yo, Vinny Chase.
I don't know which one Vinny Chase is.
I don't either. I've never seen an episode of
I've never
Entourage.
seen Entourage. Isn't it funny how we can criticize Entourage and yet no one's ever?
Yeah, I think you can. I think Entourage is the show that everyone has the right to criticize without seeing.
I
it.
will forever hold a grudge against Entourage because HBO picked up Entourage at the expense of a Linklater show.
That's a bummer.
A secret true piece of history.
They
that-
went with Mark Wahlberg's show. That's sad.
Yeah,
Hey.
Linklater had shot a pilot for them starring a pre-Ugly Betty America Ferrara, by the way. Academy Award nominee America Ferrara was in a Linklater pilot about a fast food restaurant.
All right, I'm gonna throw one at you guys. I'm gonna throw something at you guys. Destination Wedding, Winona Ryder, Mark Wahlberg.
See, that's good.
Sure.
That's good. See,
I
that's-
want to just shake up the like obviousness of the Keanu Winona of it.
I
all.
like.
What's Marky Mark doing? So this is like the last year Mark Wahlberg is in a real movie, right?
Yeah, because this is like Deepwater Horizon, right?
No, this is Mile 22.
Oh, okay.
This is Mile 22 and the movie he made with Isabella Merced and Rose Byrne.
What the movie made with Isabella Merced? You mean Transformers: The Last Night?
Is she in Transformers: The Last Night?
Oh wait, no, she's not. She's not. I'm mixing her up.
No, she's in Instant Family. She's in Instant Family.
Wait, no, Isabella Merced is in Transformers: The Last Night.
Okay, then maybe she is. I don't know.
She's in Transformers: The Last Night.
Good for her.
She plays Isabella.
She plays a streetwise orphan who is orphaned in the Battle of Chicago.
Yes.
That sounds pretty good. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah, she travels to Cybertron with them for the big battle.
Isabella Merced rules. Stuart, have you ever seen the Dora the Explorer movie?
No, I would never will.
Jeff, have you ever seen the Dora
I
the
have
Explorer
not,
movie?
but I do need to.
Stuart, I'm here to tell you the Dora the Explorer movie is like Paddington good.
Whoa.
Like people haven't tipped off to this. It's actually incredible.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the one that came out like a little while ago.
You know what else is
Like right before COVID.
You know what else is actually great? Destination
No.
Wedding.
No,
See, I'm going to hit you with something else, though. Dora and the Lost City of Gold. Okay.
that's what I'm talking about. That movie's great. If you guys, listeners, if you like the Paddington movies and want something that's going to scratch the Paddington itch, Dora and the Lost City of Gold is kind of terrific.
Here's the last thing I'm going to hit with Destination Wedding. And this might actually go against my own point, but I'm going to say it anyway. It wouldn't even matter if you switched out one of the two leads or both of the leads. Because I was thinking of like, is this movie different with it being like a classic, like George Clooney and Julia Roberts? Like, is it change this movie at all for me? If I just think of it in that way.
So if it's
And
the
it doesn't.
other Destination Wedding movie, Ticket to Ride,
exactly.
about two people.
Exactly. And it doesn't change the movie for me one bit whatsoever. So I don't even necessarily think like, as much as I harped on the fact that like Winona and Reeves never seem to like get onto each other's wavelength in terms of like the timing and pace with their performances. Because I don't even necessarily think it's like they're performing in a way to be different from each other, Jeff. It's literally like their tonalities, the timing, like the song and dance of like having a scene partner. It's like it's not working. It's not working at all. So I thought to myself, I was like, okay, do I see like a George Clooney, Julia Roberts combo in here working? And I don't even either with that.
You just think that the script and the story itself is just not conducive.
Well,
it's not conducive.
no, but Stuart, I'm with you on this because you were saying the thing about how you wanted to see them having sex with other people.
Yes.
And while I like don't necessarily know that I agree specifically on that tip, though it's an interesting pitch. Here's what I do think is problem number one with this movie is its commitment to the bit. Because I'm thinking like obviously this movie is like the like ne plus ultra of this entire like mode of filmmaking is Richard Linklater's Before Sunrise, right? Yeah. This idea that like we're gonna have two people who meet kind of by chance, and we're gonna spend the entire movie with them as they just like have philosophical conversations and fall in love or don't, right? That's a whole like cottage industry.
Yeah.
Every other one of those movies does have them talk to other people at one point. Exactly. And I'm like, I'm not. Literally, you just get like a better shape of the relationship by seeing them interact with its outer limits. Because to be so hermetically sealed in just this conversation doesn't actually tell me anything. And part of the problem with it not telling me anything is that the script isn't good enough. So they're just like hitting the same conversations over and over again. But you don't get any additional shading that would come from having a third party interact with them. And it's just like, again, I respect the perverse dedication to the joke. But it is, I think, just a conceptual flaw of the movie. And like, could it maybe be overcome if this wasn't like a movie by someone who was like a late period Mad About You showrunner? Probably.
It's kind of weird that he's
because I could see in the infancy of this idea being like somewhat sounding okay. Like this is just gonna be these two people, Winona and Reeves, reuniting in this movie, and they're going to be horrible people, and they're going to talk about their problems throughout the entire course. We're not even going to focus on the wedding. We're not even going to focus on the wedding. We're going to only focus on these people. Yeah. We're going to skip the beauty shots of the wedding and the reception. It's just going to be these people. Like I could see that pitch being like, okay, yeah. But then you're right, Cole. It's like it's a flaw at its conception. Because then you're right, you don't get that. Even it doesn't have. I'm not asking for like a long-winded dialogue scene with another person in the room. All I'm like, even if they go to
you just
dinner,
want to butt up against things. You just want a little variety.
Literally, they could go out to dinner together, and the waitress has a few lines.
That's literally what I'm talking about. Like the incidental things like that. where they both interact with a third party at the very end of the movie and never before. I guess they do yell at the housekeeping lady who's off screen.
They
but
do.
like that's it. Like it's like these a few in the back half, these like brief one-sided like barked commands, but that's not anything there. And like, would it be better if it were Carrie Ann Moss and there was real chemistry? Maybe. Would it be better if the script was better? Maybe.
I just think like there's nobody you can put in these roles to make it to spruce it up
Okay,
any more
well,
than it
but-
is.
but
here's my other thing. And this is maybe going to be controversial. But I had this thought a month ago, 2 months ago, when I was watching a movie that I have been officially barred from mentioning on this podcast. So I'm not going to say the name of the movie. But I was watching a movie that Winona Ryder is in.
Yes.
And I did have the thought, late Winona Ryder, 2016 on Winona Ryder, post comeback Winona Ryder, is she a good actress?
I know what your movie you're talking about, but we can't.
I'm
we
legally
can't,
barred from speaking about this movie.
Yeah, we can't say
on
it.
this podcast.
We can't say it because there's risks of what could happen if we say it 3 times.
No, I don't believe in that. I'm just like, Jeff told me I'm not allowed to ever mention this movie on this podcast.
You are allowed to mention that movie.
Jeff said he's a bad friend and he won't let me talk about this movie.
Colt wanted to be on the Beetlejuice episode, but someone had already booked it. And then he texted me, Jeff, can I have Threedlejuice? But someone had claimed it 20 minutes prior if they make a third one.
Damn.
It was crazy.
I don't think she's bad in Beetlejuice 2.
She's bad at Beetlejuice 2. She's bad in this. She's bad in Gone in the Night. She's bad at Experimenter. Her last good performance is Black Swan.
I don't know about
That's what I'm thinking.
We're going to talk about
That's where I'm
at. When we get to Beetlejuice.
She's bad in Haunted Mansion.
She's in like one scene in Haunted Mansion.
I know, but it's not a good scene. It's not a good scene. I think you know who's good at Beetlejuice 2 though is Jenna Ortega. Can we talk about Jenna Ortega real quick?
You know,
No, but I think we need to know. Listen, the ballots are coming in.
Wait, I got one final thing to say about
Yeah,
this.
Jeff, if you want to convince me that Swiss belongs on a cheesesteak, like go to town.
No. So Destination Wedding. My final point is it's kind of nice to see 2 nice actors who are both attractive walk around for 87 minutes saying verbose dialogue at each other.
I've seen
Verbose.
so many
Verbose.
movies that do this better.
kinda
Is the
nice?
problem.
It's the word verbose dialogue.
Yeah, isn't it kind of nice?
Have you never
Dog
watched
shit.
a Romero film?
in
Jeff?
pleasant environments.
Dog shit dialogue.
Jeff, go watch My Night at Maud's.
Also, the movie looks bad.
Okay, it doesn't.
The movie looks very good.
How often on this podcast do I even mention cinematography and lighting?
It looks
not
good.
often.
Look,
And I think this
It
movie
looks
bad.
good. It looks good. It looks good.
I think it looks fine. It is very cheap looking,
It's a very
but you know what it
cheap
doesn't. You
Netflix
know what
movie.
it doesn't look like.
What?
It doesn't look like it was shot in Atlanta.
Yeah. Now, Stuart, you mentioned Julia Roberts and George Clooney.
Yeah.
Have you seen Ticket to Paradise?
No, and I'm sure.
Okay,
I'm
Jeff,
sure-
have you seen Ticket to
No,
Paradise?
but I know what you're gonna say.
I've seen Tickets to Paradise, and as an expert on this subject, Destination Wedding looks good because it looks like a movie.
Ticket to Paradise, to my understanding, is like mostly green screened.
Oh, nice.
There is
They shot
first
this
of all,
on
it's
real
mostly green screen.
sets.
Secondly, it's bad green screening. Third, the opening scene of that movie is set in LaGuardia Airport. Okay.
Yes.
One half of the coverage is actually shot in LaGuardia. The other half of the coverage is green screen.
We've really fallen as a country if it's a compliment to a movie to be like, they shot it at a real location.
They shot it at a place.
They shot it at
Yeah.
a place.
They didn't use
This
the
movie
volume.
exists in real spaces.
Yeah, that's such a fucking fall out of grace for our
But if-
industry. If that's
Stuart, imagine
a compliment.
Destination Wedding shot on the volume.
Low key, there are some times it kind of looks like it is, but
No, it looks like it's shot in real spaces. I do have a question about the location.
Yes.
Is this actually a destination wedding?
I do think it is.
They both live in California.
Well, they do, but they are going to a vineyard in the middle of fucking nowhere.
It's not in the middle of nowhere. It's in wine country. Okay, so Jeff, was for me your wedding a destination wedding?
I think
because I traveled farther, and you were also in the middle of nowhere.
I also do think that a destination wedding is dependent upon the bride and groom's living situation.
The bride
think you have to cross a body of water.
You think?
I think you have to cross a body of water.
I think wine country, if you don't live in wine country, is
But all these characters live in California, is the thing.
But they don't live in wine country.
They're 4 hours away. If it's a 4-hour drive, it's not a destination wedding.
Well, it depends where the bride and groom live. Do they also live in LA?
Ticket to Paradise is set in Bali.
All right.
To be clear.
Any final thoughts?
I traveled longer than they did to your wedding, Jeff.
That's fair. That's fair.
Honestly, both trips, because I had a 2-leg trip. Because I had to go to Chicago and then I had to go to Libertyville. And I probably spent more time going to Libertyville than they spent in that plane. Sorry to blow up where you got married.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to be seeking out my venue in Libertyville. If you do, it's a nice spot. You should get married there.
Did I ever tell you? I'll tell you this off mic.
Okay. All right. So, Stuart, you were winding this up, but I think we both made our closing arguments. I think, right?
And if, ladies and gentlemen of the audience, if you think we missed talking about the plot, no, we didn't.
Literally nothing happened. They run into each other. They don't like each other, but they keep talking to each other, and then they have sex, and then they're like, do we like each other? And Keanu's like, no, but then he's like, yes.
Yeah, that's the plot of the movie. Nothing happens.
I rest my case.
You rest your case.
The prosecution rests, Your Honor.
So Jenna Ortega in Beetlejuice.
No, we shan't. We shan't.
It's a very interesting performance.
We shan't. We shan't.
In the degree to which it is existing entirely in opposition to everything Winona is doing in 2024 and in 1988. Right? She's like playing off both opposite to both these diametrically opposed Winona like screen personas.
Cole, who won Pennsylvania?
True. I mean, if anyone wants to weigh the vote, we can talk about Beetlejuice too. I am bribable.
Cole, I'm going to let you send something in for the Beetlejuice 2 episode.
You should just let me have Beetlejuice 3 because I was asking for it before whoever this
I'll let you have Beetlejuice 3.
Yes.
Threedlejuice.
Jeff,
we're only calling it.
Jeff.
Yes.
Jeff, I'm sorry. But I don't think Swiss belongs on a cheesesteak. And so Pennsylvania is going red.
Oh, no.
God damn it.
So you're deciding that Destination Wedding is not good?
Destination Wedding, 5 out of 10, not good. But Destination Wedding is worse than The Private Lives of Pippa Lee.
I don't agree with that.
I think I've landed with Stuart. But it is not the worst movie I've talked about on this podcast.
Is that Paradise City?
All right, and now we're going to close out here.
All right. So Cole, how are we doing on the timer?
I didn't actually set a timer.
Oh, okay.
I didn't actually set a timer.
Right, final thing before I wrap us out. Presidential elections in 3 days. Do we want to make a prediction for the election? Because the last time Joe Biden dropped out, do we want to make any predictions? What do we think?
Well, this episode's going to air.
I know, because then they can fact check us if we were remotely correct.
Well, I like to ask, like, what states do we think they're going to win? Like, what key swing states are going to go where?
Stuart, heat check, Harris or Trump?
Harris.
Cole, heat check.
Did you see the Seltzer poll last night?
Did.
Harris easy.
Yeah, it's Harris. I think we're all
Harris.
in agreement.
Harris has it locked up. Oh my God.
I think it's going to be. I think everyone's going to be surprised. I think that the Harris margin will be bigger.
I think it's. I'm gonna say this. I actually do think Harris is going to like take a bunch of the swing states and win handily, but Pennsylvania goes red. And I'm not just saying that because that's been the runner. I just do think Pennsylvania is going to go red.
Just be careful.
Well, it happened today. It happened today. Pennsylvania went red today.
Pennsylvania went red today.
That's what
Destination Winning, bad movie.
I don't know. Just
more like Good Wedding. I don't know.
when
Good
I
Destination.
think of Philadelphians, I think of people who are impressed by Donald Trump wearing the safety jacket.
No.
It's
We're
like jangling keys in front of them.
We're proud people. We're proud people.
Wait, sorry. So you're what?
We're proud people.
Okay,
Of what?
Of Philadelphia.
So
Why?
It's a good place.
we've made our pitches on like who's going to win the election. Do we think Trump will accept the results?
No.
Well, here's the
if he
real
wins,
question.
yes.
Does Trump die before this episode drops? Yes or no?
like,
Does Trump beef it before this episode drops? And
We are not
Is
condoning
Kamala
any assassination
president when this
attempts on the
episode
on the
drops?
former president.
is Kamala president when this episode drops? Do the two old guys both have heart attacks on the same day, like fucking Thomas Jefferson and Benjamin Franklin or whoever?
John Adams. And Thomas
John
Jefferson.
Adams.
I just really
Both
hope.
died on the same day. Biden and Trump both beef it on the same
I
day.
just like I feel like I know a couple of second cousins of mine who may be in the second wave of attacks on the Capitol if he loses, and I'm really worried about it. I'm actually stressed about that. Oh God. You are all getting arrested. I'm gonna say this on mic on air. Like anybody who fucking goes to another goddamn insurrection attempt on the Capitol, you're all getting fucking arrested. And I hope you do.
Jeff, random question, but this popped in
Yes.
my head the other day, and I was just wondering: have you seen the movie where Tommy Lee Jones plays Douglas MacArthur?
No, but it sounds good.
It does sound like a Jeff movie, though, right?
It does. I should probably watch it, right?
Yeah.
I should. One of these days, I'm going to do my president's podcast.
You should.
Oh, can I be the co-host of your president's podcast?
Skull.
And can the bit of the president's podcast be we talk about what president each episode of Glee makes us think about?
No. All right. So I'm wrapping this up. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Trolls and Presents Easy Riders. Cole, thank you for joining us for your final Easy Riders installment. We will see you again for our next person.
Yes. When am I back? I'm actually not back on for a while, though.
Yeah, it's a little
Yeah.
spell.
It's like 6 months. It's like 6 months.
I am sure you will wind up back earlier than that for something or another.
Oh, right. You have something planned.
Yeah,
I
no,
forgot.
you will be back within the next 2 months for your contractually obligated forced episode. That I can pick whatever I want. Anyway, thank you so much for
And I
listening.
know
to this
what you're picking. For the record, I do know what it is.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode.
I figured it
Trolls and
out.
Presents Easy Riders. Special thanks, as always, to please rate, review, and subscribe whatever platform you're listening on. Spotify, Podcast, Google Podcast, YouTube. At Trolls Pod, Twitter, Instagram, r/Travolting on Reddit. At Jeff W. Sweeney for me on Twitter. Hopefully the world has not exploded by this point. Special thanks always to Beck Johnson for the graphic design, Michael Van Bodegum Smith for the theme music. Have a great week, folks.
Do I not get to plug any?
Cole, say it.
Are we recording?
Yes, we are.
Okay. Let me just double check a date here really quick, because I'm pretty sure, Jeff, we did it again.
Did we do it again?
I think we did it again. Let me see here. Yeah, if you go listen to the most recent episode of my podcast, Jeff is on it.
Above the title, we were talking about the space.
Above the title, a Colin Farrell podcast. Jeff is on it, and Jeff will also be on not the next episode to come out, but the one that comes out after that, which in theory would be 2 weeks from now, but I don't want to promise anything.
Yeah,
'cause
we'll
we
see
might
what
not get it
happens.
recorded in time. We'll see what happens. I can't get a straight answer from Connor about when we're recording that episode.
Yeah,
So we'll see.
we'll
But
figure
you
it
should
out.
listen to a famously normal podcast episode about a famously normal movie called The Spaceman.
Spaceman, one of tomfoolery, one of the weirdest things I've ever watched. All right. Have a great week, folks. See you next week for episode on Sarah Cooper. Everything's fine.